Hi, this is Sandy Warren. Wellness with Attitude is the name of my company, and my goal as a collaborative coach is to travel your journey. Life is a journey, many curves, and so my goal is to travel that journey with you. And in one endeavor to do that, I have decided to commit to Thoughtful Thursdays. So hopefully each Thoughtful Thursday will bring you something to think about, ponder, maybe inspire you, maybe take some guilt off of your shoulders and help you to feel in a happy, positive mood. So whatever it is for you, I hope that there's something here of value. So I'm going to share my screen with you so that it keeps me on track. But hopefully, you might take a snapshot of it with your phone, or if you need me to send it to you to give you some action items or ideas, I'd be happy to do that. So, thanks again for dropping in for Thoughtful Thursday. Let's go ahead and see if I can share this screen with you and let us move along and see where this takes us. So, holiday traditions that may no longer serve us. The Oh, that's interesting. I didn't change the title of that. I wonder what that means up there. Anyway, life is just nothing but, as I said, a little curve on the road, our journey. But things are looking different right now. So perhaps the traditional way of looking at our holiday would be that we're gathering with friends and family. We have big drop in parties. Everybody brings a dish to share. We have a cookie swap. Family filling up all the beds in the house, squeezing in at the table, getting those folding chairs out, singing Christmas carols, perhaps all bundled up and snugly, sipping hot cider by the fireplace with kids, cats, and dogs. So, some or all of these things may be traditions for you, and they may not be looking like exactly that today. So, I know today one of the things in my Thoughtful Thursdays is I'm also thinking about my gratitude on each Thursday. And so today I'm grateful that I was able to wake up in a warm house. I was able to sit and have a cup of coffee with my husband and talk about my thoughtful Thursday and the things that I wanted to share. I've also spent most of the day out with my mom, who has macular degeneration and goes about every 10 weeks or so for an injection in her eye. Doesn't sound good. I've been there through a lot of them, and she takes it like a trooper. But it's tiring and it's uncomfortable. Maybe not directly painful, but boy, it sure seems like it to me. So after bringing her home and getting her settled down because she needs to take a nap and close her eyes for an hour or so, I came home and made myself a cup of tea. And I thought, it is the simple things. I had a warm coat, and now I get to come home to a cup of tea. And, it feels good to be helpful. So sometimes we need to find and see another way to be. We need to look at the blessings and celebrate and maybe let go of some traditions that aren't quite so easy to come by right now. So let's look at what you will miss and first be grateful for what you have had in the past. Then think about who you shared those memories with. I've noticed on Facebook that there are a lot of old memories coming up of old travels, of old family gatherings, and that's a good thing. It's good to look back and remember and recall and be grateful. So maybe you need to look at those pictures and also reach out to the people in those pictures or the people in your memory. Maybe it's a call, a card, a note, letting them know that you are not only remembering them, but you're sending them your love. Decide what might replace that memory. What could bring you a different memory that's positive, that infuses you with a sense of well being? Maybe you can make a recording of you singing a carol. My children and grandchildren will be very grateful to know that that is not my choice because I can't sing a note. But it would be okay with me if my granddaughter or grandkids would get together and sing a Christmas carol for me. Several years ago, my youngest grandson was Scrooge in his school play. And I came across that picture the other day and I shared it with my son, and he was the best Scrooge ever. People who didn't even know him were saying, "Wow, that kid is great." So that brings a smile to my face and helps me to have a real positive memory when we could take things like that for granted. Maybe my two granddaughters like to be in the kitchen. So maybe they would get together with their mom or their dad or their sibling or alone and maybe make a video of them baking. I made a candy cane wreath that you put the candy canes together in a wreath pattern, you put it into the oven, you let it melt, you take it out. And when I went to put the ribbon on it to hang it, um, it cracked. It was just like the most fragile of glass. And I shared that picture with my granddaughter because she likes everything to be perfect. And I thought it was important for me to share with her that my little project was not so perfect. And I'm pretty sure she got a pretty good laugh out of it. In fact, the fact that she sent a picture back laughing confirmed that. So, can you dig up that old picture, that memory, and maybe get onto a website and create a funny one? So, maybe you take um, that old picture and you can do, I forget what they call the name of the program is, but you might have it, or there's all sorts of things that my grandkids showed me where you can make squinchy faces and make it all warped and funny. So, maybe you can do something like that. If you don't know how, ask your kids or grandkids. And Zoom shopping. I had two of my grandkids join me as I opened up a catalog book, Old Navy, in fact, and we shared the screen and we shopped together. And they gave me a list of what they wanted, and we had a blast. It was really great fun. Kind of like for those of you who are old enough to remember the old Sears and Roebuck's catalog, right? Oh my, fun times. So let's move along and see if we can bring something new to our new traditions, building new traditions. So perhaps make a favorite um, dish, cookie, whatever, a favorite whatever, and share it with a friend or neighbor. Maybe you leave it on their step or drop it at their door with a note and maybe the recipe. Looks like I still can't spell recipe. It's one of my, y'all just have a word that sometimes just doesn't quite click. Well, that's one of mine. Perhaps you like crafts. Maybe make something small from your supplies or from the magnolia bush, a holly bush, or pine cones. Those are all free, and plus it gets you out in nature to gather them. So get out that glue gun, get out that little florist wire, and go to town, and then deliver it. Maybe there's a new neighbor in your neighborhood that doesn't have a lot of friends, maybe doesn't feel quite comfortable yet, or someone who's lost a loved one. What a difficult, difficult time of year to lose somebody. Maybe there's a new mom who just has no time to herself and can't even think about getting near a glue gun. What about gingerbread houses? You can pull up some ideas from magazines and from websites. I haven't gone to, what's the one that crafty people all go to? Pinterest. I haven't gone there, but I bet they have some exceptional ones. So pull up some ideas and maybe gather around your camera or open a Zoom and design your gingerbread house. We did that on a Zoom meeting, and my mom was here and she did the frosting. So maybe some of you saw that from a previous Thoughtful Thursday. So perhaps you want it to be a competition between the kids and the adults, or perhaps between a family and a family, or perhaps you don't want it to be a competition at all, just a fun experience. So thinking about traveling into a new tradition from Christmas with no dinner, where can you go? So if you missed my last Thoughtful Thursday, the Christmas where there was no dinner, you might want to think, okay, where do you go after that? Now, my daughter has asked me to delve a little bit deeper into that, which I will do, but not too much at this moment. But it will probably turn into either a Thoughtful Thursday, or I'm thinking more likely it will show up as one of my courses. Now, it is where can we go that we can get to without flying? Or what can we do while we're there? What will be open? So those are some of the questions you might be asking yourself. Do I want to travel over this season? Do I want to travel this winter? What can I do while I'm there? You kind of search ahead and you find out what's open, and maybe you decide it's worth it and you just want to get away and look at something different. So maybe you decide that staying home is a better choice. So how about traveling virtually? Plan where you can go when you can feel safe to travel. So there are many websites that have virtual experiences. So pick a place or two or three or four that you may never have imagined that you wanted to go, and search them out. Search around the area. See what happens. It's free, so why not just go ahead and spend some time looking at that. You can do this with a spouse. You can think about traveling with friends. You can involve the kids. So what would be fun for you? I know we went to Branson, Missouri several months ago because we have some timeshare and we decided we wanted to use some. They gave us a great deal. Never a place that we thought about going, but it was all outdoors. We felt very safe, very healthy, and it was just a really fabulous decision to go there. So let's see if I can make this next slide work. There we go. So maybe you create a new tradition. I obviously should have done spell check here. It's nice that I'm doing it now. So you can think out of the box. And here's my latest brainstorm that I'm going to share with you. Art, not as a competition, but as a creation. To see art through someone else's eyes. So maybe you can buy some watercolors, charcoal pencils, color pencils, paper. Send it to the family, adults, kids, cousins, whatever you typically would share your time with. Maybe you include them in this project. Send an invitation to join you once a month, and then send a picture that is created by all in any modality that they choose. And when each person finishes the project, they photo it and share it. Each person will see the art of someone else's eyes, someone else's version of that art. So this is meant to be open for each of us to play, to experience, and to find non-judgment. I sent a note and an invitation. For Christmas, they will receive some supplies. And in January, I'm going to choose a picture for all of us to do. And then each month, for everyone who decides to participate, they will get to choose a picture and we'll all share it. And hopefully it will help the kids and the adults who decide to participate, and I hope everyone does, as they get their picture in their given month, then the next person gets to travel along and choose the next month. What is the goal? The goal is to create a sense of togetherness, to be able to maybe laugh, share, and who knows, by the time we get to next year at Christmas time, maybe there'll be some great homemade gifts. Maybe it can even be clay. I mean, it could be a completely different modality. So I'm looking forward to experiencing that. And I hope the whole family plays. We'll wait and see. I'm sure there'll be a thoughtful Thursday about whether or not this was a great idea, and whether or not my expectations have been unrealistic. As you know from my last video, I'm certainly working on keeping those expectations in line. So as we look at this, happy or sad, the brain can only hold one. They can't hold both simultaneously. So I hope that you're going to choose happy. I hope that you'll choose to step out of the box, choose a new box, maybe decide on some new traditions, although you can celebrate the old ones certainly. And there are some other things that you can do that are simple at this time of year to keep you feeling well and healthy and to keep your immune system boosted up. So choose to eat well, more veggies, less carbs. I know it's terribly tempting out there. As I was in the grocery store the other day, I was just like carbs were everywhere calling my name. So think less salt, less sugar, more water. Get rest. Perhaps treat yourself to new sheets or a new pillow or new jammies. Get a good book and settle in. Maybe you like a cup of tea, or maybe you like a hot toddy, whatever it might be, a little spice cider. Settle down, settle in, and enjoy. Sit by the fire in the middle of the day. I know that is a luxury for me to tell myself to go sit down and just be and not fix or do or make or create. So I hope you'll be good to yourself. I hope you will stay well. This is Sandy Warren, Wellness with Attitude, signing off. Thank you for dropping in. And I do wish you a very happy time, a healthy time. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you again before the new year.